Hey, John with Simple Property Management here. Lately, we have been getting a lot of calls from what we would call the accidental landlord. They can't sell right now, or they would have to take a big loss if they were to sell right now, and they're looking at should they rent it out. So today we're going to take a look at should I rent my home or should I sell my home? Let's look at first the reasons why you'd want to rent your home. So a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, we're going to help you avoid or renting your home. It's going to help you avoid the big loss right now. So you're basically going to wait it out until the market comes up. Yeah, you may not fully cash flow, but sometimes we like to say we help you lose less than you would if you were to sell. The other thing is rental properties is a great way to build long-term wealth, not health, maybe health, depending on how you look at it. But the tenant's going to hopefully pay down your mortgage, and we'll talk about that when we look at reasons why you might want to sell instead of renting it out. But that tenant is, for the most part, especially if you have a professional property manager renting your home, they're typically going to help you pay that mortgage off. You also have flexibility with your life choices. So let's say in a couple years you want to move back into the home, then that home is still there. You didn't sell it, so you still have that option. Looking at my notes, you could also refinance later on. That might help you get that kind of cash flow that you may not be making right now. And then you have obviously the tax benefits. So a lot of those expenses that are on that property are going to be tax write-offs. Obviously, you want to talk to your accountant about that, but there are a lot of tax benefits with owning rental property. So, reasons that you might want to sell your home. Let's say you don't have a lot of cash reserves. So, for example, if we were to call you and say, hey, we're replacing your water heater today because the old one blew out, it's going to be $1,600. If you don't have the money to pay that bill, then you should sell your home today. You should not rent it out. So I try to remember that we are supplying housing to somebody else. So there are expectations like replace the water heater if it blows out. If the AC or the furnace dies, those need to be replaced. If the fridge breaks, send somebody out to look at the fridge. So if you don't have a lot of cash reserves, then you should sell right now today. If you are going to have negative cash flow and that's going to burden you, let's say you can't handle that negative cash flow, kind of the same like we just talked about with cash reserves. If you can't handle losing a couple $100 a month, or on some homes it might be a couple $100 in a month here or there, not always. Um, but if you can't handle that negative cash flow, you should not rent out your home. You should sell it. If you need equity now, so if you need to sell the home and use that money to pay down debt or buy another home, then obviously you don't want to rent out that home. And if you don't want to be a landlord, I think that Facebook and Twitter, or X, formerly Twitter, they make being a landlord sound like it is so easy. It's just gravy money, and it's not always that easy. So you really want to understand this is what it means to be a landlord, to supply housing to someone else. And if you don't feel like you want to take on that responsibility, then just sell it today. If you want to sell in the next year, so let's say your plan is to rent out the home for 12 months and then you're going to sell it after that, then you should just sell it right now. Because what's going to happen is you're going to rent it out, and in 12 months, there's going to be normal wear and tear. So those freshly painted walls may need to be repainted. Those brand new floors may have some scuffs on them. You may have damages. That is, a possibility. No matter who rents out the home or who you rent the home to, there could be damages. And those costs add up for the turnover. So unless you plan on renting the home for 2 to 3 years or more, then we suggest selling the home right now. So, oops, got ahead there. Miscellaneous tips. So these are things we wish everyone knew before they call a property manager or think about renting out their home. Your property taxes and your insurance is going to go up. Your property taxes are probably going to go up. We see anywhere from 40 to 50%. And you can get on the Michigan State website and they have a property tax estimator. So if you just Google Michigan State property tax estimator, that can pull up. You put in, I think it's your SUV value, what school district you're in, and then it will kind of put out what your taxes are going to be. Because remember, you're going to go from 100% homestead to 0% homestead because you are not living in the home. So your property taxes are going to go up, and again, your insurance is going to go up. A lot of cities near us, we're in Grand Rapids, Michigan. A lot of cities have rental inspections, so you want to think about that. These rental inspections can be anywhere from very, very simple to more in depth. Grand Rapids is on the more in depth side. We see those are more expensive than other cities. We'll just put it that way. You also may or you may not get paid. So like what we talked about on the last slide, the tenant will sometimes, maybe they have a tough month and they don't pay their rent because they have to fix their car or, there's 1,000 reasons. We hear every single reason in the book, but there are times that the landlord doesn't get paid or they get paid late. So if you can't handle that, then you should sell. Here's the good things about renting out the home. Your cash flow is going to raise over time. So let's say you rent out your home today for $1,500 a month. Well, in 3 years, the rent's not going to still be $1,500 a month. It's going to go up on an average of 2 to 3% a year. And if you were renewing during COVID times, those rents went up 7 to 9% because of inflation. Costs have skyrocketed, or they did really skyrocket during COVID. So rents also skyrocketed. And then also, obviously, just diversification. So you have money maybe in a Roth 401 or a Roth or a 401k, mutual funds or wherever. But having a piece of property that you're renting out is very good at diversifying your portfolio. So it gives you a little more diversification in your long-term wealth building strategy. So yeah, that's kind of the quick and dirty of helping you think through, should you rent out your home or should you sell your home? I would say, 80 to 90% of the people that we talk to really should sell. So we want our clients to be prepared if they are going to rent their home, to rent their home and be ready to be a great landlord taking care of the residents. If you have any questions, of course, go ahead and give us a call or shoot me an email, John with Simple Property Management. Have a great day.